Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I will show you in this video how in this case Yahoo censors, that is, cuts away pieces of the original article that was published in the original media outlet, in this case Al Jazeera, and publishes eliminating something that they think we should not know about. So people who are just looking at Yahoo will find this article right here. This is in the original form in Al Jazeera. We'll find it like this, right? This is the same one, the same article. World reacts to Israeli attacks on Syria's Damascus. And here is the original. World reacts to Israel's attacks on Syria's Damascus. So YouTube, Yahoo, which are these guys right here, MMS and bababab, right? These guys are taking this article and are going to give it its flavor. It's the same picture right there, the same picture from that article into this article. And I'm going to show you why. Because the people who look at and read Yahoo should not know that Russia also had a reaction. I noticed this very much when, for instance, I covered the Ukraine war. When I covered the Ukraine war, let's say I have New Voice of Ukraine, Ukrainian media outlet, or when I have, they don't promote Russia Today or anything like that. No, you don't find Sputnik or Russia Today or TASS or RIA Novosti on Yahoo. Nah, they don't cover it. They promote, for instance, Ukrainska Pravda, New Voice of Ukraine, Kiev Independent, Ukrinform. So when they promote it, so the article is like this, they give you the article cut usually. That's why I don't like that. I take the original. So let me show you. I'm going to read the article in the original form. Now, not the whole article, only what's important. So world reacts to Israeli attacks on Syria's Damascus. All right, and I'm going to go down here. And it's same. Israel has launched several airstrikes. And I'm going to go to the other article. Israel has launched several airstrikes in a... Okay, so it's the same article, just so you know. And Defense Minister Katz, and we have here Defense Minister Katz. Okay, we established that reality. And then we have here reactions, right? And the first one is Russia. You see, I scroll down with you. You are here. Russia, Russian Foreign Ministry on Thursday strongly condemned the Israeli strikes. All right? The next one is listed United States of America. Then is listed United Nations, then Turkey. Then that's about it. Iran, again, Iran. Then you have United Arab Emirates. Then it says GCC, the Gulf Cooperation Council. And that's about European Union, Norway, Kuwait, you see? But then we go to this is the original article. Now remember, it was Russia and then United States of America. Let's go to this fake one from, as I said. And you have the first one. Hey, where is Russia? Where is Russia? United States. The second one is Turkey. Over there was what? First there was Russia, then United States of America, then United Nations. They said, no, we don't need to know about United. You just jump from United States of America to Turkey. Then we go to GCC, which is United Nations, Turkey, and then Iran. Right? Was it GCC? I planned it. No, Turkey. They skip over Iran. They skip over United Arab Emirates. They give you GCC. And then they go GCC, Norway, by skipping what exactly? European Union, Norway. This is the original. This is the original. These guys did not give you the European Union either. And this is the end of the article, Zapa Zapa. And the original article goes Norway, Kuwait, but the guys in the MSN, Yahoo, they didn't think that is necessary for you to know that. Why is that? I tell you why. Because if you make only what's important and you give America, Turkey, and GCC and Norway, that means nobody else cares. But it's an outcry of United Nations, the European Union, Russia. They're eliminated. They're eliminated. So do you think this decision was made in haste? Like, oh, come on, quickly, quickly. Do you think it was made by mistake? Someone made a mistake? I don't think so. That article, before it was taken and placed on whatever I picked it from, It was seen for many editors, by many editors. People who said that needs to go out. Do you think it was a guy who made his decision somewhere in his cubicle and just took it and sent it? Do you think that's the way it was? I don't think so. It's not coincidental. So when you say freedom and freedom of speech and freedom of the media and the Russian propaganda and propaganda, these guys are giving you propaganda and they're lying by omission. You are uninformed. You are uninformed. The same way these guys are teaching you here that Nikita Khrushchev in the Cuban Missile Crisis just blinked, got shitty, scared, took his nuclear missiles from Cuba and back off. And JFK, our leader, did not blink a second. The reality is different. They lie by omission. It was not like that. Let me tell you how it was. And if you don't believe me, I would like you to go and verify what I say. So it was the United States of America, like right now, approached with missiles, with nuclear missiles with warheads in Turkey and Italy. And they were called Jupiter missiles. They just set them over there. They deployed them over there. Nikita Khrushchev said, the leader of the Soviet Union, I'm not defending that guy, but I'm just saying it's the same thing. These guys were the initiator of the aggression. The same as in Ukraine. These guys brought their shit next to Russia. They were that's the root cause. And then Nikita Khrushchev said, take them off. And the Americans said exactly what happened in Ukraine. There's none of your business where we deploy our nuclear missiles. In this case, Turkey is a NATO country. Turkey, we deploy them over there. You have no say. And Nikita Khrushchev said, okay, all right, it's legal, but for our security, we would ask you to remove them. And the Americans said, what are you going to do about it? And Nikita Khrushchev said, okay, we're going to bury you. So what they did, they started building launching pads in Cuba. And they carried the tubes of the nuclear missiles, on top of the vessels. So they could fucking be seen by these guys with their spy planes. They saw them, and now the thing is, there was zero missile, Soviet missile with nuclear warheads on the Cuban territory. Zero. There were tubes, they were working on the deployment pads, on the launching pads. There was no nuclear missiles. So Soviet Union did not remove any nuclear missiles from Cuba because they didn't deploy them. Because these guys took a shit before he had to do that. So he just blackmailed them. He said, you will take your shit from Turkey. The Americans said, well, let's talk. And they said, yes, we agree. You stop the project. So the first lie was we were the initiator, not the Soviets, with our deployment. The same in Ukraine. They were the initiators. All right? And the other guys reacted, and these guys don't like how they reacted. They were not supposed to. They were supposed to take it easy, you know what I mean? So then what was the understanding? You're not going to deploy anything in Cuba, and we, within 6 months, will remove our nuclear warheads and missiles from Turkey, the Jupiter missiles. And that's exactly what the Americans did. It is exactly what Khrushchev told them to do. So it was not that Khrushchev blinked, it was that the other guys got smacked again. This guy said, we're going to do the same thing you did. We're going to legally deploy nuclear missiles in a country next to you. How do you like me now? And obviously these guys did not like it. You know why? Because they're not just. They're not honest and they're not fair. That's why they say only I can do that. You cannot. Why? Because I'm in charge of you somehow. So the same here, my friends. These guys are lying by omission. The same in our history in the United States of America. We're told the variant as I started this one. JFK looked into Khrushchev's eyes and Khrushchev blinked and took a shit and removed his nuclear missiles from Cuba. You will hear people saying removed. And another mistake and a lie is when they say they call it Russia removed instead of saying Soviet Union removed. There's no Russia. It's as much Russia as it's Ukraine and others. maybe a little bit different, but it's not Russia anyway. Russia was toppled by the first revolution, and then the other guys, the Bolsheviks, with the help of the Western nations, like in 1991, destroyed Russia. That's what it was. It destroyed the empire. So what's going on here, my friends? They lie by omission. That's the easiest way, because when you say, well, it was a mistake. I didn't know that it was important. Really? That means you're an amateur. You should be fired, out of business. But they're not out of business. So I use this just for an example. That happens, my friend. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It happens constantly. I do this every day, at least 3 times a day. I go over the entire media I can get my eyes on, and about 1 hour and a half. I get all over it, all the titles, read here and there a little bit, and I tell you this is a fact. This is a fact. This is the free world. This is a fake. But you give these imbeciles here the illusion that they're educated by giving them a very diluted college degree, and they think they're educated, and then you tell them this. Hey, look, I'm educated. They will not. I can smell a lie. You can smell shit. Remember, the easiest way to promote propaganda is not to the imbeciles. It is to the people who think they're educated. Those are the easiest way. Why? Because they will find justification for the lie, for the big lie. They will find justification. It's like a person who lives in denial. His wife or whatever girlfriend cheats on him. He sees it and he tries to find justification. Maybe I didn't do something right. Maybe she was abused. Maybe then instead of saying, no, fuck, that's wrong. Beep-bomb, beep-bomb. You know what I mean? And that's it. Out. I'm out of here. A limited person, clear person, limited, meaning clear person will say, no, wrong. I'm out. He's not going to look at different perspectives. Why did she do it? Maybe she had a reason. Maybe it was just a mistake. Maybe alcohol involved. You see, you think too much. No, the reality is bye-bye, out, fuck off. The same here, my friends. No, these guys are lying by omission. It's not a mistake. If you want books on propaganda, I know a few of them. And one of them is Jacques Ellul. This is one of the best. Let's see if I can walk like this without you see my balls. One of my best books that I love. Let me just take the dust off of it. This is one of the best books I had on propaganda. It's another one, Gustav, I can't remember his name, with Psychology of Masses, I think. It's another one, I can remember, in 1920s, he's Jewish, I can remember his name. Another called exactly Propaganda. But this is when I read books, I always write on the sidelines, or I underline things. Now, all right, put exclamation marks or put anything like that, ask questions. This book is like no other. It's like each and every page is underlined, and it's like that's the way it is. And educated, if you want to take something of this, is educated people get propagandized the easiest way, and these guys lie by omission or by a big flood of information. That's exactly what these guys are giving to you in the media. You see those segments of about 10 minutes, they give you 15 pieces of news. They pack. You don't have time to process the first one, and you're already at the last one. You don't know the first 9 ones, let's say 14. You will remain with the last one, and the other 14 are in your subconscious. So they gave you that, and by repetition, you don't have time to think, whoa, wait, stop, anchor, wait. What do you mean by that? Let's discuss it. No, you don't have time. You just get, your brain sucks it in, but your logic is not, or your compass or of truth is not able to discern that. So you're just going to get it in, and after a while with repetition, you're going to say, yeah, man, that's right. Why? Pavlovian and subconscious works. Thank you very much for being with me again today. And much more, my friends, much more. It's so easy. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.